Aquarius, and welcome to my channel. I'm Adriana. I'm a transformational life coach and abundance consultant. I have an intuitive message for you today, channeled directly from my guides, but I also want to let you know about a special New Year's offering, New Year's reading offering that I have for you. I've done a few already, but these are still available for another couple weeks. And they really are a great way to start your year with tons of awareness about what your lessons are and just a bunch of other amazing things. There is a link in the description below to the website where you can learn more. Okay, we are starting with the snake. This is a lovely card. I really enjoy this card a lot because it is talking about the continuous transformation that is occurring in your heart. I want to say to you, Aquarius, beware of stagnant energy. If anything is not moving, if you're not creating anything new, be very aware of that, and be very aware that if the energy is stagnant, there's an element in it that has kind of died in you. There's a death or a disconnection between you and this, whatever this stagnant energy is, because life and love and life really is movement, is creation. So that stagnant energy is telling you, look, you're not creating anything new. We're not actually living in this situation or with this person here. Okay, let's look at your other cards. We have the Four of Cups, interesting, indifference, and the number 4, the tendency of life path 4 can sometimes be stagnation. 4s are stability, but when you are overstable, it's stagnant, okay? So these cards are really tying together quite nicely because this 4 tells me that there is especially emotional energy in your life that is not healthy. It is not moving. It's looking to me like one of those ponds that's kind of shallow and again stagnant, and you've got all this weird stuff growing in it. Good for the environment perhaps, but not really good for your environment, because the problem is this stagnant energy has your attention more than the energy of creation and growth and potential. Your energy isn't going there. It's not going into creating something new. It's all kind of sucked up by this stagnant energy. Okay, let's look at your beneficial energy, 2 of Swords, and then challenging energy, 7 of Swords. Okay. So Aquarius, this is something that you just cannot think your way out of. The 7 of Swords is trying to find a way that you can either justify this to yourself or reframe the situation, that you can somehow make it better. It's trying to reconcile the stagnation you feel with mental activity. You know, maybe if I just think hard enough, or maybe if I think differently, or maybe if I just, change my perception, I can live with the situation. And there's a time for that mentality. But this 2 of Swords is saying to me that you know which path you need to take. You may feel like you have a choice of 2 paths, but you know exactly what path you need to take. But it's almost as if you don't want to see yourself taking this path. It's almost as if you don't even want to see yourself making this choice. Like you don't want to face the fact that you have to make this choice. So it's kind of like, I'll just choose that one, right? You almost don't want to see yourself, because if you see yourself, either you have to hold yourself accountable or you have to admit to yourself the truth of what you're doing. And just for some reason, you don't want to do that, Aquarius. It's like you don't want to be vulnerable for yourself. I don't know if you're seeing something you don't want to see, or if you're just facing a harsh reality that you've known was there, but maybe you ignored. And so now you have to own up to yourself about it. The good news is that you do know which way you need to go. So now all we need to do is drop the over processing, drop the thinking, drop the doubting and second guessing. You know, you may be thinking, maybe I'm just not seeing it right. Maybe I'm making this up. Maybe all this stuff is going on in my head and it's not reality. You really know that's not the truth. You really know that, yes, you've got a lot of evidence for what you're seeing. And you know you've got a lot of evidence for the path you need to take. It's just admitting it. There's a little bit of resistance there. Okay, let's get a little bit more. The Lovers back at the ranch and the Three of Swords. You know, my guides are giving me a pretty specific, tricky question. How long do you keep wanting to choose the betrayal of yourself? If you would choose something different, you would see an opportunity for growth, and then we would be back on track with our creation. We would be back on track with our movement. But as long, the choice is, it's like, it's a double, a choice has two sides. That's what I'm trying to say. A coin has two sides. So you have a choice in this situation. And the thing with this card is, even though the tree is pierced, it still wants to grow and it's still able to grow. So we can choose with this card to either focus on the swords, which are, you know, stabbing at the heart of the tree, or we can focus on the fact that the swords aren't cutting into the tree anymore. The tree is actually still growing. And this tree looks very similar to the trees on the Two of Swords card. Can you see that? It's almost the same tree. Okay, so that adds a new dimension. Let me clue into this for a second. Because what if this is on the other side of this tree? And so she's facing herself essentially, but in tree form. So a lot of this may have to do with family or roots or traditions, like lineage type stuff. But the point is that right now you're at an impasse. You're facing this immovable force, the tree, which I really think this is the same energy combined. You're facing this immovable force, and the only thing you can do now is go around it, to choose to go around it and then leave it behind. Okay, so Aquarius, I really think the way is clear here. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to be aware of what's going on and what has unfolded in front of you, and then allowing your reality to become flexible, porous. I'm looking for the right word. Allow your reality to stretch to accommodate the reality that you actually are seeing. This reality to the actual world reality. Okay, it's right now you're at odds because the world is showing you something you don't want to see. So if you would allow yourself to see it, then the two realities would be back together and the movement would be forthcoming. Okay, I'm getting my signal to end, so I just want to thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me, Aquarius. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And also please check out the offering of the new year. Again, these are so empowering and so really enjoyable, just getting all this information in advance. So I'll look forward to seeing you next time. There's a link in the description below if you want to learn more. And have a good one, Aquarius.